Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Chronicle, where I did my hair just for this episode. Not really just for this episode. So this is the fabled slickback that I had referred to, I think, a week or two ago. I honestly don't think it looks that bad. The only reason I don't do this more often is because my hair doesn't want to go back like that. I've tried all three kinds of my hair products. I've tried hairspray, hair gel, and pomade. And now the thing is, those all come in like various strengths, like various holds. And I think mine are usually medium. But I think I'd need like extra strong to keep this back for like longer than a day. And also, I am a little bit sick, so if my voice sounds different, a little different, that would be why. I'm kind of congested. We'll get to that in the journal. Anyway, yeah, so my hair, it doesn't like, doing this. It takes a lot of like product. And not only does it take a lot of product, I've been using hairspray to do this. And I'll have to like re-wet it. I'll have to re-wet my hair. I use a spray bottle. I'll have to re-wet my hair like usually like 2 or 3 times per day to try and keep this actual look. It's been fairly good today. It's kind of cool that I can actually do this now because when I had first cut my hair, I tried this and it just, if I'm being honest, it kind of just looked bad. Like right now, like it looks like it's like what it's supposed to. When it was shorter, it kind of just went up. It didn't really go back because it wasn't long enough. Um, but anyway, yeah, I got the slick back today. Um, Yippee! You guys can finally see it now. What do you think? Let me know. I think it's not bad. I would do it more often if it weren't so annoying. And also, like, it usually ends up splitting. It just, my middle part, it just goes whoop. Once it, like, it's not, the product doesn't wear off, but it's just like my hair will, like, go back to doing whatever it wants to do after a while because the product's not strong enough. Anyway, to the goals. So I did two, Pepsid and Make Bed. They're not very hard. In fact, they were very easy. And it's like I made these like it's like why did I make these? I don't know. I do know. Okay, so the Make Bed. This was just to try and like start my day. Period. It was trying to start my day and to start my day good. So what I would do, what I did was every day, once I wake up, before I get out of bed, I'll scoot forward to the end of the bed and then like you can't see my bed; it's just off camera. And then I would like tuck the blanket in, and then when I get out of bed, I would then pull it up over the pillow and then make my bed. And I wouldn't say it had a dramatic effect on my daily routine, but I think it is nice to have a made bed. Like I said, you can't see it. It's like literally, it's like right here. Not really, it's over there. But yeah, I wouldn't say it was like life altering, but like cool habit, cool routine. It is nice to like have a made bed. Like I forgot what a made bed looks like because I for a while I would just leave it unmade. The other goal, Pepsid. So I didn't take it daily. I was thinking about taking it daily to a point. I never got to that point. I think I took like 3 or 4 this week, or maybe it was two, at least two, at most four this week. And honestly, good results, if I'm being quite honest. Good results from taking the Pepsid. Maybe that's the issue. I just have a little too much stomach acid. And like you could think that that's acid reflux, but it's not because acid reflux you usually feel in your chest. My bad feelings are pretty much always contained to my stomach, in that region. It never moves. It's just in the stomach. Um, and that was what my previous doctor had thought. She was like, I think it's too much stomach acid. I'm going to prescribe you Pepsid. Talked about that whole story before. Yeah, so I took like 2 or 3 or 4 over the course of the week, and I think I took one today. Yeah, I took one today as well. And I think they're working. They're working pretty good. Now the thing is, I hadn't tried them sooner because, and I talked about this before. It's $30 for like I think like four. It's $30 for like a little thing. The little thing has a lot of tablets in it, but it's $30. And I was like, that's kind of a lot for something I just want to try. The not off brand, but like the generic brand that I found at Target is $3. It's literally 10 times cheaper. So I got that. I also got some name brand, but I got a smaller amount of the name brand. I only got like 8 tablets for like $8, which is not great value, but yeah, Pepsid. I have it now. I'm using it. I dropped the sticky notes. I think it's working. Honestly, like, if I may be so bold to proclaim such a thing, I think that might just be the solution. Maybe also the sucralfate I think was helping, but I've had like very little nausea compared to recent like years. Very little nausea this week with the Pepsid, so that's pretty cool. And then in terms of goals in progress, I did a bit of guitar catch up. Um, the daily's first goal, it's technically completed. I'm gonna leave it up there for one more week. We'll talk about that later. Handstand. It's still in progress, but I didn't work on it this week because I've been sick since about Tuesday. I'm really hoping I'll be better by tomorrow because work starts tomorrow. The workout goal is still frozen. Uh, and I added two goals this week. The whistle goal is still in progress. I worked on that a little bit yesterday. It's also like I thought I would just be able to watch a video and then do it. I can't. I can like kind of make a whistling noise. I'm getting there. The resin goal still in progress. Haven't heard anything from my coworker. The dailies. If I'm being 100% honest, guys, I failed dailies again this week. I'll talk about it. I think in the journal. I'll talk about it a little bit right now. The main thing is I had made the dailies first goal to try and actually complete the dailies goal. The main issue with the dailies goal is that my instrument is or instruments is a daily. I think. Oh yeah, my camera. It's moved actually. I just noticed. I just noticed for sure. It's usually tilted down a bit, isn't it? Hold on. I thought something looked different. Yeah, hold on. I think I need to scoot it. You need to scoot this way, right? Yeah, yeah. Because remember, you could see the corner under my bed. You can see my desk as well. Okay, yeah. It's gotten knocked around earlier in the week. Okay, we're almost there. Um, I kind of like this better a little bit. I did notice that when I turned the camera on, I was like, it looks different. It's oriented differently. Um, yeah, and you can see my day planner here, and the journal is right here off camera. Anyway, um, yeah. So the dailies, which you can't see anymore because the camera moved. Sorry. One of them was instrument, and the goal. So that goal in the dailies was technically to get 4 practices on both instruments per week. But the specificity that I wrote down on that whiteboard only says instrument singular. Because if I practice one instrument every single day, then I will have 4, what is it, practices uh, on both instruments every week. The only exception is on one day per week I have to practice both instruments. Okay, all that to say, the guitar the guitar is usually what I do during the weekdays. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I do piano, and then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I do guitar. That way, there's only one overlap day. So the thing is, after work, I'm really tired. I've talked about this before. I'm just tired. It's a struggle. And also, in my brain, there's a little hater. There's a doubter. He doubts me. He says, "You're not even that good at electric guitar. You sound bad. You shouldn't even bother picking up the instrument because you're going to play it and it's going to sound bad. And because it sounds bad, you're going to feel bad. Not only are you going to feel bad mentally, you're going to feel bad physically because it's metal strings on your fingers and that hurts. So you're going to be in mental and physical anguish for something that you don't even like to do." Right? That's what the hater in my brain is saying. So I have to prove him wrong every single time I go to practice. And now I feel like my head's not facing straight because I moved the camera slightly. That's bothering me. Anyway, yeah, so there's the hater in my brain, and I have to prove him wrong every single time I want to go practice electric guitar. So that's why I failed that daily again this week, and it's got another X on it, is because electric guitar, practicing that, a little bit of a struggle. Now, I have set myself up for success this week. I've already got 4 practices on piano, and I've got 2 practices on electric guitar. That means that I won't actually have to practice either instrument one day next week, which is pretty cool, I guess. Could be tomorrow. Anyway, so you can bet that the daily goal will have its first check after 6 weeks, I think, is if I counted right. It'll have its first check, next report, hopefully. Like I said, with smart money says it's good. It's gonna work. Trust me. Yes. Anyway, I think I had a couple more. Yeah, handstand didn't work on because I was sick. I had 2 more goals this week. Whistle. Yeah. Okay. So check this out. That's as close as I can get. I'm working on it for whistling. Um, okay, I had 2 goals this week. One of them is Yap Sesh. My dad was like, "Buddy, what's the deal with the Wii U? What's the lore behind that?" And I really thought he would have known because like I was at a point where like we were still going between houses a lot. It was at a time when he was more involved in my life, so I was like, did he not notice how much I was on the Wii U gamepad? Um, so I was like, okay, I'll make a Yap session for that. Also, because like it's been forever since I've made other content for the channel. Something I realized as well is I've been doing this for over 6 months, like almost or like like more than 6 months, which is like kind of crazy because I was like, oh, the Chronicle, yeah, that's only a few months old. No, it's like 7 months old, guys, and I'm pretty sure I maybe talked about this last week, but like that's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. I'm on like report 30 something at this point. There's only 52 weeks in a year, and I was like, holy crap. I wanted to do something for like the 6 month anniversary before I realized that that was long gone now. That was last month. That was like 4 or 5 reports ago. Um, so I might make like a little supercut kind of deal for after a year. It'll just be like 52 intros of me saying hello everyone, hello everyone, hello everyone, welcome back to the Chronicle, right? And it'll just be like it'll be a supercut of that. Yeah. What else? Yeah. How did that come from the Yap Sesh goal that I was talking about? Yeah, Yap Sesh, gonna make one for my dad, mostly. And then the goal, the one up there. Oh, you can't see it. It's nap question mark. Remember how I talked about earlier in this video how I'm just tired all the time? I thought if I'm just tired all the time, then maybe I need a little more sleep. Therefore, the idea behind that goal is to come home from work and then just take a nap. Just straight up. That's the whole goal. Now the thing is, I don't know if I'll do that because my brain and body are fundamentally opposed to napping. And this is like it's subconscious, right? But it's mostly by choice. Like when I'm awake, I want to be awake for the whole day. I don't want to go to sleep. That's for the evening time. And if you go to sleep during the day, you might not sleep as easy during the night. I don't sleep easy during the night anyway. Um, But like, if I'm just tired all the time, then maybe the nap would help. It would be a short nap, like 20. I think it's called a power nap technically, where it's like, I think less than 30 minutes is the rule. And then you could do a 90-minute nap. That's just like that's way too much time. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing with that? Yeah, so it'd probably be like a 15-20 minute nap. I'd literally just come home from work and then crash, and then maybe be good for the rest of the day after that. I don't know if I like I said, I don't know if I want to try that just because like I don't like sleeping during the day. That's not what the day is for. I even my body has this automatic response. I'm pretty sure this is fairly natural for most humans. But whenever I am falling asleep during the day, my body will like flinch. It'll flinch me. Like I've noticed it happens a lot. Like if I'm laying down and if I'm falling asleep, one of my limbs, it'll be like, or like joints, like my hand, my shoulder, it'll just go like, whoop. It'll do that, like fairly hard enough to like stop me from falling asleep. And like, I think that's like a subconscious thing. Like, I don't really have control over that. But it's my body saying, hey, we're not supposed to be sleeping right now. Get up. And that happens literally every single time I try to take a nap, right? So that's why I don't know if I'll actually do that goal or try it. I guess it's worth a shot. But like the thing is, am I just tired because of a lack of sleep? Because I usually get like 7 hours at least on most days, and it's like, is that enough? I don't know. I keep seeing mixed sources online where it's like you need like 7 to 9 hours. I'm like, yeah, 9 hours feels great, but it's like I can't even get to sleep to get those 9 hours. So it's like I don't even know what's going on anymore. Do I not eat enough? Do I not sleep enough? Who knows? That's why I put that goal up there, and I think that covers the goals for this week. Journal time. I intended to keep this like 20 minutes or less, but you know how it goes. Okay, Monday. Today after work, I did most of my usual calisthenic workout, then got lightheaded and decided to stop. After that, I went to Parkour's house to practice piano. Their piano wasn't perfect, but it's probably the nicest one I've played on in a while. After that, I just came home and did my dailies later than I should have because Parkour called me asking if I wanted to play online with Rowdy. I said yes, but Rowdy was super sick, so me and Parkour bought and played Void Train. And then the quote is, I love having friends. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that's why I'm sick. Because Monday, I went to Parkour's house, and he was sick. We weren't around each other, like, that much. Like, before I came over, he said, make sure to stay away from me because I'm sick. And I was like, okay. But I know that his house has a piano. It's a nice, not quite grand piano, but it's a full piano. It's an acoustic piano. And I love playing on acoustic pianos. It's way better than playing, like a little keyboard or whatever. We'll get to that later. But yeah, so I went over there. It was great. I played dinner. I played dinner. I played piano while his family had dinner. And I think their mom offered me dinner too, but I was like, no thanks, because I think I was nauseous at that point. Um, but yeah, and then I did my dailies. He called because he was sick, right? So he didn't. Usually he's busy. He's fairly busy, I'm pretty sure. But he called me. He was like, "Hey, you want to play?" And I was like, "Sure." And he was like, "Okay, I'll call our other friend because we're all friends." And then yeah, Rowdy was like, in just incredibly sick. I heard he threw up 8 times in one day, and I was like, "Oh my god." But I think was it Parkour had the flu, and I believe I contracted it there, and then it developed like the day after. I did my dailies. Quote, I love having friends. Tuesday. Do I actually talk about getting sick on Tuesday? Today after work, I picked up Pouty for Splatoon, and we won 4 games before I continuously disconnected and we played Smash Bros. After that, I just did most of my dailies. My MIDI interface arrived today too, so hopefully I can start working on that now. My stomach has also been a bit better since I got that prescription, so that's good. And that's about all. And then the quote is, "That's too nonchalant." Okay, yeah, so I didn't talk about it in the journal. But Tuesday, on the way back from picking up Pouty from her house to bring her here to play Splatoon on the TV and the monitor, um, I felt like a sore throat, and I was like, "Oh crap!" And then I was pretty much sick from that point. And now the thing is, like I said, Rowdy, who is siblings with Pouty, Rowdy was super sick. So I was like, maybe taking Rowdy's sibling from the same house where he was super sick got me sick, or going to the house in the house where Parkour was sick got me sick. Either way, I got sick. Um, and then yeah, so me and Pouty were gonna play Splatoon, and then for some reason I just kept disconnecting like in the middle of the game. Like I said, we played 4 matches, won all of them. That's great, and then I just kept disconnecting. Man, I should really have water when I do these. Um, and that was that. After that, we played Smash Bros. That was a lot of fun. What else? Oh yes, my MIDI interface. This thing right here. This little thing right there. That's my MIDI interface. So I can like connect. Well, actually, I don't think this is necessary to connect to the laptop, or I don't think this is necessary to connect this to the laptop right there. But it's useful for like the guitar. If I want to attach a guitar or a microphone, a conventional like a aux line in microphone, um, that's what the MIDI interface is for right here. So I can hopefully start working on that soon. Blah, blah. Stomach's doing better, which is good. And then the quote, this comes from, actually, I won't say where it comes from because that's what I do in the journal. I never say where the quotes come from because it's funnier that way. Actually, I guess I have to give context. Okay. So we were playing Smash Bros, me and Pouty, and I told her that in the past, I would sometimes play. The thing about the Joy-Cons is you can play with both of them disconnected, right? So you can have both the controllers in your hands like this, and then your hands can be wherever the heck you want, and you can still play the game, with the buttons. And like way in the past, at Parkside, which is what I call every Wednesday as a kid when me and my friends the homeschool group would go to this park. And then it was a park and it was a coffee house. And the coffee house had a TV, we would play Smash Bros. All right? So what I'd do is I would take my Joy-Cons and I would sit in a chair and I would play the game like this, with my arms crossed. With the Joy-Cons in my hands down here, I would play Smash Bros. And of course I would win because I was better than most of them. And then she was like, "That's too nonchalant. That's crazy." I was like, "Yep, I would literally play like this. Like you wouldn't even like you can't even tell I'm playing the game because I'm hitting the buttons down here." Yeah, that's where that quote comes from. Wednesday, after work today, I played no video games and started on my dailies. It was kind of a struggle, but I'm not entirely sure why. I was just tired and unmotivated as usual. But I got everything done. I'm also working on new daily and nightly routines to help improve my quality of life, so hopefully I can stick to them and they will help with things. I'm also thinking about changing my current habits and routine to further improve quality of life. And then the quote is bedtime show at the end of that. Yeah. So like I said, that's the whole point of the make bed goal was to try and create a structured routine to help me not feel like such a bum all the time. And I'm trying to remember like what exactly am I talking about here? Daily routines? Yeah, so like making my bed and then taking a nap after work would be part of my daily routine. Nightly routine. Also thinking about changing current habits and routines to further improve quality of life. I'm honestly not entirely sure what I'm referring to during that. I have thought about taking caffeine earlier in the morning. What I'll do is I'll take my little homemade energy drink to work, and I'll sip on that throughout the whole workday, and that'll be all my caffeine for the day. Because like I'm kind of like just super tired in the morning. Like I'm practically brain dead when I clock into work because I'm so tired. But if I have a little energy drink and I sip on that, I'll be great. I thought about doing that. I had stopped in the past because I thought it was doing something that it wasn't doing, and I thought so. I was like, okay, I'm gonna not do that anymore. Turns out that something that was happening was not from the energy drink. Um, anyway, yes. Okay, so nightly routine. My goal is to just be done with everything sooner. This also ties into the daily's first goal. To just be done with everything sooner, so that I can end my night by journaling and watching a bedtime show, which is just like Netflix or something. Just one episode. Because when I was a kid, goodness gracious, I need some water. When I was a kid, my family would not always, but sometimes have bedtime shows where that was it. We would just watch an episode of something and then go to bed. And I was like I don't know if like looking at the screen is good for you before bed, but it's like, it could work. You know that like there's this fairly common human experience where you'll be scrolling on your phone, you'll be so tired, you're like, oh, I'm so tired and I'm scrolling, and I think I'm gonna turn the phone off and then go to sleep. But then once you turn the phone off, you're wide awake again. That happens. I've experienced that before. I don't think the bedtime show would be like that. Hopefully it'll help me sleep. And I think that's all for Wednesday. Yes. Right? Yeah. I think that's about everything that happened. Thursday, lessons after work were fun because we did a little bit of work on songwriting because my classmate was gone. After that, I made bean and cheese burritos as snacks for later. I also played Void Train with parkour for a couple more hours, and it was a lot of fun. I've also been sick since Tuesday, and I really hope it's gone by tomorrow because I have plans with bones. And then I've had 4,000 milligrams of vitamin C, is the quote. Yeah, so okay, so lessons. Okay, so hold on. Shout out to me real quick, because during the doctor's appointment last week or 2 weeks ago, um, normally my anxiety just kind of stops me from talking at all ever, and I always just speak when spoken to. But with the doctor, I told him like 99% of like everything, which is great. One thing I forgot to tell him was that I was taking creatine, or I am taking creatine supplements. Did I? Yeah, I took them today. So when I got the blood test back or whatever, it was like alert, creatine levels higher than usual. And then I got a phone call. The lady was like, seems like your creatine levels are higher than usual, so just like drink more water and you'll be fine. And I'll tell the doctor. I was like, oh yeah, I'm taking creatine supplements. She's like, okay, I'll tell the doctor. Um, Thursday. Okay, yeah. And then also Thursday, all right, so I didn't like withhold any information on accident from the doctor. And then also Thursday, lessons. Okay, so like I don't know if I've ever said this out loud, but I'm like 1/8 people pleaser. I try not to be, but sometimes it kind of just happens. So Thursday, lessons. Now I've talked about this for like the past 2 years or whatever. I've been very unsatisfied with what I've been learning in lessons, but I haven't said anything because both my classmate and my teacher seemed super interested. I was like, okay, whatever, I'll let them go. Thursday, what was going to happen was my teacher, he was like, okay, let's keep learning the song we're learning, and then we're going to record a video for your classmate, send it to him, that'll be great. The thing is I don't like when that happens to me. I don't like when I'm gone for a week and then I have to catch up just from like one video. It's not even that hard. It's just that I don't like it, because it's just inconvenient. It's like a little more work. Like I said, it's not beyond my skill level at all. It's just that it's annoying. So what I do is I prevent that from happening to my classmate. I was like, instead of working on the song that we're working on, let's work on something else. That way he's not behind. He doesn't have to do any extra work. He can just chill out. I don't know why he was gone. He might have been sick the week before. I wasn't entirely sure. So hopefully he's fine. Anyway, so I was like, what if we work on this thing that we worked on way in the past? He was like, oh, that's cool. I totally forgot about that. Then we did. It was songwriting, and it was great. It wasn't exactly what I had thought we would do, but it was still good. We made a nice little melody and put some chords to it. It was great. I also made bean and cheese burritos. Bought a can of refried beans and some shredded cheese, and then I just heated up the tortilla, and then I put some beans in there, and I just put some cheese in there, and then I wrapped them up, and I put them in a plastic bag, and I put them in the fridge. And then I just kind of just ate those throughout the week. Pretty good. The refried beans are like seasoned out the can, so that's actually pretty good. I honestly forgot to season them. But just refried beans and shredded cheese, it's a good snack. That's what I made Thursday. Yeah, so, but yeah, I forgot to mention, or no, I forgot to talk about, I bought Void Train, which is a survival, kind of like an open world survival game. I played that with parkour a lot this week. It was a lot of fun. I think we played like 3 times this week. Oh yeah, and then I had to cancel my plans with Bones because I was sick. I am sick. Where we rescheduled to tomorrow. I'm still like a little bit sick. I'll hopefully be 100% by tomorrow. The thing is like even when I was sicker in the past, she was like, "Oh, if you feel good after work, we can still do it." So I don't think she actually has a problem with being around me while I'm like a little bit sick. So if I'm not, I'll probably be like at least like 99% good tomorrow, and then we'll be good. And then yeah, I've just been eating a lot of vitamin C. Friday, after work today, I really didn't do much. I was gonna play online with parkour, but he's sick, so he got tired and then went to lay down. He went to lay down instead. So I played a little bit of Helldivers before trying to learn to whistle. I feel like I kind of almost sorta got closer to being able to whistle. After that, I tried to set up GarageBand on my Mac, but it didn't really get anywhere, and now I'm considering just using my PC instead. And then the quote is, "What did I even buy that for?" Yeah, so Friday? I was pretty much just watching my hopes and dreams shatter right in front of me, because this stupid piece of garbage Mac right here has 2 ports. The whole thing, look at it right there. Two USB-C ports on the whole thing. Not even one regular USB port, right? And like Apple just loves doing this thing where they just take away features and accessibility from their devices. So that, I mean, like, this is a great example. There's no home button on here. It's just a screen. Oh, hey, look, the reflection. Yeah. So it's got nothing but 2 USB-C ports on the side, a charging port, and then it does actually have a headphone jack right there. I'm like, and I think it's because it's so thin. I don't know if you can tell. It is like the whole thing is like this thin. So I think it's literally just too thin to have a regular USB port. And I'm like, that's dumb. It doesn't have a single USB port. Like all this stuff plugged into my computer right now, my headphones, my controller when I use it, the camera, the microphone, all regular USB ports. You know what this thing doesn't have? USB ports. Look at my MIDI interface right here. You see that? You know what it uses? A USB port. Now the thing is, when you plug it in the back of this thing, it's a USB-C port. I was like, okay, fortunately, I have one USB-C to USB-C cable because it came with my iPhone. And I just kept that in a box, my box of wires that I use when I need a cable or something. So I was like, okay, I can connect the MIDI interface to this thing, and then I can maybe connect the guitar or my regular sized piano into the front of this thing because it's got this like audio jack, like how you have for like electric guitar cables. Then that thicker like aux kind of jack. I was like, okay, so I'll try that. I got nowhere. I got pretty much nowhere. I plugged in the electric guitar, and I was like, okay, it's making sound. I can see it making sound on the interface, but I'm not getting any sound out of here. And I think it's because I need to plug another audio jack, a regular large audio headphone jack into this thing so I can hear what's actually being put into it before it comes out of the Mac. Good Lord. I was like, okay, what I can do is I can plug headphones into the port here. That way I can hear it, but I can only hear it once I play it back after playing it, so I can't hear it while I'm playing it except for just like the little blank, because it's electric, so it doesn't make a whole lot of noise when it's not plugged in. I was like, okay, so I can play it and then I can hear it after I recorded it. And I was like, that's not helpful at all. And also, I could not get this thing to work. Oh my god. This thing. I could not get this thing to work on this freaking Mac until today. Because, like, just by chance, I got... Look at it. Look at it. Hold on. Right? Good lord. Right? Hold on. I'm getting there. Okay, right here. You see this little black piece right here? That's called a hub. Or at least that's what it was marketed as. And you know what it does? It's got a USB-C port, plugs into the Mac, and you know what it has on it, on this little thing right here? 3 regular USB ports. And I'm like, this is ridiculous, because you know what already has plenty of USB ports? My regular PC. But the only reason that I didn't get a freaking DAW on it was because, like, oh, the better DAW is the free one that comes on the Mac. Because the Mac is, like, for making music and art and Photoshop and crap. That's what everyone says. That's what everyone says. Literally everyone says that. That was my whole thing. I was like, I'm going to get a Mac and I'm going to make music with the Mac. And then there's just no ports on it, so I can't plug anything into it. But I got a thing, so now I can plug more ports into it. And I did get somewhere today. I actually got the keyboard working. It was so easy. All I had to do was plug it into a USB port, which the Mac didn't have. Um, and then it worked. It was that easy. I just went, okay, this plugs in here, this plugs in here. I thought I'd have to like accept settings or change something. No, it just worked immediately. Immediately it worked after I plugged it in, but I couldn't plug it in before because it didn't have any USB ports. So, I'm pretty sure, now that I have more USB ports, I can make music for my portfolio to apply to college. And we're all good. And this stupid thing cost me $1,000, and I probably didn't even need it in the first place. Like I was literally before I was recording this, I had Chrome open with DAWs that worked on PC and Windows because I was like, there's already plenty of ports on here, and I've got headphones right here too. Have you guys ever even seen my headphones? I have headphones. Yeah, I was like, then I wouldn't need to, circumvent like this jack with my wireless headphones, and you plug that thing because it's like this is already plugged in here. Oh boy. Did that even happen on Friday? Why was it? Because, hold on, hired. Am I on Friday? After work today, I didn't do much. He went to lay down, whistle. After that, oh yeah, because I talked about GarageBand. So Friday, I got nowhere pretty much. Today, I set it up. It works now. I haven't done much, but it works now. And I think do I talk about? No. Okay, because today's entry does not exist yet. Anyway. Yeah, the quote, what did I even buy that for? What did I even buy that for, man? I could have just bought this thing, the interface, and then plugged that into my PC, and then done PC instead. The only reason why I got the Mac was because that's usually what you do with Macs, is that's like producers use Macs, man. Yeah, whatever. I remember when we were doing, working on DAWs in class, my teacher, he had like, I think it was like something similar to that behind me. It was just 4 USB ports into one USB-C port that he plugged into the Mac. I was like, oh, this is ridiculous. Saturday. I didn't do a whole lot today because I was still sick, but, wait, what? Because I was still a little bit sick. Okay, yeah. But I did laundry, played Helldivers, ordered something from eBay, practiced both instruments, and saw the Chainsaw Man movie again with Rowdy this time. I also made some plans for next week with a couple more friends, so I've got that to look forward to. And the quote is, how do I find someone like me? Yeah, so Saturday, I was still recovering, and I feel like I kind of am today. I did help my dad with yard work. It was pretty fun. Saturday, let me stick to Saturday, though. What did I do on Saturday? I just noticed this S got erased, so I've got to fix that now. Okay. Yep, played lots of Helldivers. That was a lot of fun. Did laundry. That was good. I ordered arms from eBay, not like prosthetics. There's a video game, an old video game by Nintendo called Arms, where you play as like boxers, except their arms are springs, right? So they go like really far. And I'm gonna play that with Pouty for my 21st birthday, because we talked about that like in the past. Because when me and Pouty started doing schedule time with each other, she was like, "Are there any games you want to play?" Because we'd been playing Splatoon, which is a game she wanted to play. I was like, "Well, there's this game called Arms that I really liked." But the thing is, for some reason, even though it's years old, it's still $60 on the Nintendo store. So I went to eBay. I found someone was bidding. They were selling it as a bid, and it started at like $11.33, which is like really good because it was usually $30 for most other places. But it was a bid, right? I was like, okay, they're bidding on this. There's 4 hours left. I'm gonna go high. I'm gonna highball. This is $11.33. I'm gonna say 15. There was not actually any contest at all, though. I really should have just put like 12 in there. I could have just put 12 in there. There's also $6 of shipping, but like $22 rounded up. That's better than $30 plus any shipping that I might have to pay. So I still got it for cheaper than most. So yeah, I think we're gonna play that for my 21st because I am trying to think of plans to do with all my friends for my birthday. Yeah, and then I saw the Chainsaw Man movie with Rowdy. Okay, one of two things happened when I saw the Chainsaw Man movie the first time. Either the projector was literally just unfocused, or it was 3D and I didn't have 3D glasses. And I have evidence to support both because there was a person behind me not wearing 3D glasses, and there was a couple in front of me wearing 3D glasses the first time I saw it. So I was like, is this in 3D or not? There was no indicator. There was no indicator. The ticket said 3D. The ticket did, but there was like no, usually they have 3D glasses like right outside the theater where the 3D showing is happening. And I was like, was I supposed to like go talk to someone to get the 3D glasses? Like I've never heard of that. So yeah, the first time I saw it, it was like pretty much just unfocused. But like I saw it again, it was great. It was actually like it was kind of crazy how good like the animation was. Like I literally didn't realize just because I literally couldn't see it the first time. Um, we did watch it subbed because it's an anime movie. I wanted to see it dubbed, but he preferred subbed, and I was like, okay, we'll do subbed. It wasn't that bad. I think I would have been more enjoyable dubbed, if I'm being honest. I like the dubbed voice actors. Um, but yeah, that was still good. And then what's happening on Saturday? Practice. Yep, practice both my instruments. I did that today as well. Um, movie. Yes, and then me and Pouty and Katana's sister are gonna watch Over the Garden Wall next Wednesday. I think it's one of those things where it's like technically a kids show, but like still enjoyable when you're older, and it also has like themes and like messaging or whatever. So that we're gonna see that Wednesday. Gonna watch the whole series. Apparently, it's only like 10-minute episodes, so it's really short. It's like movie length. Um, and then the quote I won't explain because I don't feel like it. And that leads us to today. What did I do today? What did I do today? Well, I'm still a little sick, as I'm sure you can hear. Hopefully, I'll be better by tomorrow. Like I'm saying, I think I'll be like, I'll just like after tomorrow. I think I'll be good. Um, yeah, pretty much most of my symptoms are gone. I was a little feverish, but I took some ibuprofen and it went away. Let me start from the beginning. I woke up late because I came back super late from the movie. We saw a 10:30 showing. They literally played half an hour of trailers, and then it was an hour and 40-minute movie. So it wasn't midnight 40 before I got out. I was like, oh my gosh. So I get home at like 1 in the morning, and then I journal and I like, get ready for bed, and now it's like almost 2 in the morning, right? So I sleep for like 8 hours at least. Now it's 10 in the morning, 10 in the morning Sunday. And I'm supposed to leave for church, but I'm like, I'm so tired. And I'm also sick. So I ended up skipping church. And I had my nice shirt on for church, and I took it off because I'm not going to church anymore. And then my dad, he was like, you want to help with yard work? And I was like, I can, but I'm still a little sick. And once I got there, he was like, buddy, you could just rest. You don't have to help. And I was like, yeah, but I really want to help. And it was a lot of fun, the yard work. I got to hit more things and use a angle grinder. I moved some rocks around. I built a little bitty stone wall. I hammered rebar into the dirt. I also cut rebar with, yeah, like, or is it? It's not a circular saw because that's for wood, I'm pretty sure, or like a table saw. I think a circular saw and a table saw are the same thing, but I'm really not sure at all, so don't quote me on that. But I had the thing, it was like it's a disc and it spins really fast and it goes, it's like really loud and then like just a whole bunch of sparks start shooting at you. And I had to cut rebar and I was like, I was scared honestly. I was like, isn't this the thing that makes a lot of sparks? And then my dad's like, yeah, but the guard will catch it. And I'm like, okay. I was 99% sure the guard would not catch all of it. And I go, and the guard, it sparks. It's so much sparks shooting out of this thing. It's crazy. I literally almost set the ground on fire. Um, and like, yeah, it was a lot of sparks. I was like, wow, this guard is not catching all the sparks. And I was thinking in my head, I am not qualified for this. This is way too many sparks. I have no idea what I'm doing. But I cut a few pieces of rebar and it wasn't that bad. But I was like, wow, this is a power tool in my hands, huh? Anyway, I cut the rebar, hammered the rebar on the ground, built a little stone wall, moved some rocks around. I think that was about it. And then my dad was like, okay, we're going to finish up. And then he's going to go smoke food for later for the Chiefs game. I went home and then I think I played more Helldivers, which is a lot of fun. But having a bit more fun with that game recently. Oh yeah, I've also got like, I had a couple mini energy drinks that I got from work a while ago. Finally got around to drinking them because I didn't have my homemade one today. Okay, so I played more Helldivers, and I think I practiced piano before going to Dad's. I practiced electric guitar before I did this. So between Dad's house, what did I do? Oh yeah, I went to Target. Oh yeah, that's why where I ended up getting that adapter. I was gonna get one USB A to USB C adapter, and then just so happened to stumble across that while like just looking around the aisles of cables and adapters, and I was like, oh wait, this is perfect. And it is. I could plug like my mic, my keyboard, and what else is plugged in there? The mic, the keyboard. Oh yeah, the MIDI interface, and then I can actually plug a guitar into the MIDI interface, and have my mic, keyboard, and guitar plugged in all at the same time, which is great. Because like that's pretty much all you need. You could say bass, but I can actually use the keyboard to get a bass sound on the computer. And the drums I can also get on the computer, and I can also use with the keyboard. So I've pretty much got everything going for that. So I went to Target. I don't think I got anything else fun. I did get a steak at Aldi, but I low key left it out of the fridge for a few hours because I got home and I put my groceries down and then I forgot about them. And I was like, oh no. So that steak might be a little rotten, but I guess we'll find out tomorrow when I cook it. Um, the heat kills everything, so it should be fine, right? Okay, so after the Helldivers and the Targets, I went to Dad's, I ate, and then I think I went straight from there to the Aldi to get a couple more groceries. Um, and after groceries, I played a little more Helldivers. And then I got that thing up and running. And then I also practiced electric guitar to set myself up for next week. And I think that leads us to right now, where I'm recording this. Oh yeah, and I touched up my hair a little bit as well. Yeah, I really don't think this looks that bad. Like, I like it. Yeah, like I said, I would like to add it to my rotating hairstyles, which is usually like left, middle, or right part. Um, but like, it's just, I feel like after work, it would just kind of get like destroyed. Like, it would probably just get squished, and then it would split, and then it wouldn't really look like the slick back anymore. But it's honestly not that hard to just wet it with the spray bottle and then, slick it right back. So, yeah, maybe you'll see more of it in the future. I am tempted to do the middle part. I know I literally swore off the middle part in last week's video, but it's like now that my hair is getting longer, it's so convenient to do the middle part, and it's more natural as well. Um, and as my hair gets longer and longer, it takes more and more product to get it to hold. But you don't need quite as much product for the middle part because all I really do is comb it back, which kind of just makes it fall to the side instead of forward. And then I do like I can get a little bit of volume with a little bit of product. That way I don't have to use a whole bunch of product every time I want to do my hair. Okay, and I think that's everything. Holy moly. I did get a piece of mail from UMKC. Turns out I got it back in like September. Nothing important. It was just like, hey, apply online or something like that. I didn't read it. I did get my insurance card in the mail, which is good. I think I need to make another appointment before my appointment next week, or next week technically, because this is this week. And I think we're good. Thank you all for watching. I will see you all next time. Bye.